Good day, yogis. This is Stephen Chang coming to you live from Simha Yoga Lab in Jersey City, New Jersey. Please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the full streaming schedule as well as my payment information for Venmo and for PayPal. My preferred way of payment is through Venmo, and my handle is Simha Yoga Lab on Venmo. And if you are prompted for a 4-digit ID code, it is 8096, and classes are $10. And if you're having a difficult time right now, $5 is fine. I'm streaming on Instagram and on Facebook, and those classes are then saved and posted on those two platforms. And then the videos are also uploaded to my YouTube channel, which is Simha Yoga Lab, a few hours later after the streaming because of the upload time. Now, my YouTube channel has better audio and video. So if you're having a shaky time on Instagram and Facebook, it is actually better for you to go to YouTube, especially if you're not actually streaming with me, right? If you're practicing anytime throughout the day, just go to YouTube instead. You can also pull up the video on your smart TV, so it's just altogether a much more pleasant practice experience. Okay, today's class is open flow. It is a level 1 and level 2 for those of you who have tighter hips. Elevate and sit up on a block or on a blanket, as well as possibly a book or a towel. Now, for those of you who are newer to my practice, welcome. I just caution you to be particularly careful if you're working with any kind of special conditions or injuries or limitations, right? I do give some variations here, so if I'm going a little bit out of your range of what you're ready for, you should pull back a little bit and stick with the basics. Or you can modify for your injuries or limitations, whatever that might be. I'll give you some pointers on those as well. Just pay attention to those things that are more appropriate for you. Please, nobody overdo anything. Please don't push anything too much. Have a safe practice, right? So we have a whole lifetime of yoga practice, so just allow yourself a little bit of wiggle room for advancement, but please don't go too far and end up hurting yourself. Okay, let's sit up tall, comfortable cross-leg position, palms face up, fingers come together, mudra, thumb and index fingers touching. Grounding evenly through your seat. Lengthy tall spine, with the shoulders broad, lips touch. And regulating your breath by breathing only through your nose. And as you settle into your seat, let the mind start to quiet. Let the inhales even out with your exhales. And then Ujjayi breath whenever you're ready. Slight restriction to the back of the throat and creating the ha sound as you inhale and exhale. Being mindful that the Ujjayi breath is a soft humming sound. It should just be heard by yourself, and possibly if there is in a real life situation where you're in a yoga class, the person next to you might hear you. Right? So it's not necessary for you to project it so loudly that someone across the room should be able to hear you, right? So you might actually hear that as a way of doing the Ujjayi breath, and that might be a variation within a certain tradition. But the classical way of doing your Ujjayi breath is a very soft humming sound. Three arms together, inhale. Keeping the eyes closed, hands together in prayer in front of the heart, Pressing the thumbs into your heart, heart back into the thumbs. Lifting the heart up toward the sky. Setting your intention for your yoga practice. Devoting your practice to someone or something, or to yourself, your supreme self that lives within your heart. Chanting the mantra for purification, purifying the space in which you practice yoga. Call and response. Om Pavitraha, Om Pavitraha, Pavitrawa, Pavitrawa, Sarva Vashtan, Gato Piwa, Yaha Smarit, Pundrikaksham, Sapahya, Bihyandraha, Suchihi. Beginning to open the eyes, palms face up, fingers come back together. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, right ear to the right shoulder, right hand to the left side. Elongate through the left side of the neck. And chin toward the right shoulder. Release back to center, drop the right hand. Left ear to the left shoulder, left hand to the right side. And chin toward the left shoulder. Release back to center, drop the left hand, chin toward the chest. Big circles with the head in one direction. Ear to one side, roll it back. Opposite side, roll to center. Take a few more rounds, that same direction. Chin back to center and pause. And then taking the opposite direction. And then back to center again. Lift the chin parallel to the floor and reach your spine, coming off your blocks. And extend the legs forward, separating your feet. Hands supporting to either side, sitting up tall, turning your toes toward each other. And then roll up. Draw in. Roll out, draw in. Outer rotation, circling. Back to center, switching around. And back to center again, cross shins, opposite shin on top. Raise the arms up high and extend. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, back to center, arms up. Exhale, other side. Back to center again. Side bends, right hand down, left arm overhead. Now let's stay in this left side stretch and start to reach your left fingertips toward the right hand corner of the room and reach. Get lengthy through the left side. Now start to descend. Maybe your left fingertips come down to the floor, and then on your fingertips, inhale, lengthen, exhale, crawl the left fingertips further forward as you traction your fingertips to the floor. You can round the upper back and take the nose in toward the knee and keep reaching. Start to release, walk it back in. Take it back to the side stretch. Stack your shoulders and all the way back up. Side bend the other direction. Left hand down, right arm up, and reach, extend. Now notice in the side stretch, it's primarily along the outside of the right side body, right? There's really not that much sensation to the upper back on the right side. Now, as you let the right shoulder descend, and reach your right fingertips toward the left-hand corner of the room. Notice that extension, that openness, that broadness that happens through the shoulder blades on the right side. Right? And that will happen even more as you now descend. Take the right fingertips to the floor. Inhale, lengthen. On the exhale, traction the right fingertips forward. As you round the spine, take your nose in toward the knee. So now, wrapping that openness, that broadness around the top of the right, shoulder on the right side, around the shoulder blade. And start to walk it back in, take it back to stack on the side stretch, and then all the way back up. Extend the legs forward. Now, before we go forward, let's take the hands back behind you. Upwardly, turn your fingertips. Walk the hands slightly back. Lift the sternum, your heart center up. Broaden your shoulders by kissing your shoulder blades together. And then gently looking up. You're not looking straight up to the sky. You're looking slightly forward, maybe about 30 to 45 degrees. So feel for that broadness through the chest and the front of the shoulders, and engagement of the upper back through this slight upper back bend. And keeping in line with that broadness, come back to neutral, and then raising the arms up high, extending. On the exhale, keep that lengthiness of the spine, and very slowly start to take it forward. Now once you reach your maximum and you start to feel like you're rounding the upper back, I want you to stop there. Right? Keep that lengthiness of the spine. Then moving at your shoulders to reach your hands to grab your feet, your ankles or your shins, whatever you can hold on to, right? And then re-lengthen, because chances are you're rounding your upper back a little bit. Re-lengthen by lifting your chest and bring some tension there. And then on the exhale, lean forward through your heart center, your sternum forward, and that will give you a lower back stretch, hamstring stretch. Right, so you should still feel like you're lifting the upper back and the sternum leaning forward, right? And that will give you some engagement in your lower back here. Now, also check into your chin. I also tend to do the same thing, which is I reach forward a little bit with the chin, right? And that takes the cervical spine into a slight back bend, right? Into an extension. So what you want to do is look toward the floor. And think about the chin pointing diagonally toward the floor, right? So that will keep your body in line, because now your spine is in a diagonal. So that means if your chin is pointing slightly forward, the cervical spine, the part around the neck, is also in a much more neutral position instead of in an extension. All right, start to come back. Keep the left leg extended. Take the sole of the right foot and the left leg, and let's twist to the right. Release out a little bit. Walk your right hand a little bit further back and ground the palms. Step on the left foot, pivot to your right knee, and extend the left arm up and back and reach. Let's take this into a back bend by lifting your left arm up to the sky and across the collarbone, back in space. You might even lean your hips slightly forward and the upper torso and the head slightly back. Come back to a neutral line and then threading the left arm underneath your right and twisting. So you can stay relatively high here. You don't have to go that deeply. So I just want you to rotate into the spine. All right, come back, release. Square back to center. And left hand to the floor, right arm is up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, slightly rotate your torso to the left so that you're lining up your sternum over the left leg. And then reaching forward, grabbing the inside of the foot. Re-lengthen your spine, and again, check your cervical spine by pointing your chin slightly forward and then downwards, and then taking it forward into the forward fold. Now, if you don't need your left hand for support to the floor, take it to the other side of the foot. And begin to release. Take it back up. Twist to your left. Now release that tension a little bit. Step the right foot down. roll to the outside the left foot, reach your left hand further back, and lift, reach your right arm up and behind you. And let's take this into a back bend. Raise your right arm straight up, across the collarbone. Lift the hips up higher and expand through the chest. So this will give you a back bend. Raise your right arm up again and thread the right arm underneath the left and twist here. So you're actually still covering, right? So you're not sitting all the way down, but you are coming down a little bit. You might even use your right hand pressing to the floor, the top of the right hand pressing to the floor to give you that twist through your middle thoracic spine. And stretch, release, come back to a seated position. Extend the legs forward. Let's take it into forward fold again. Arms up and forward fold. Re-lengthen your spine. Check your cervical spine by pointing the chin slightly downwards and forwards, and then deepen the forward fold. Release, come back up. Keep the right leg extended. Sole of the left foot to the inner right thigh. Twisting to the left. Release that a little bit. Walk your left hand further back. Roll to the inside of the right foot and the top of the left shin. Lift up. Reach your right arm straight back behind you for the right side stretch first. Then take the right arm straight up to the sky, across the collarbone, back in space. And even lean the hips forward and the upper torso back, so you're coming into a nice back bend here, fully supported. Take it back to neutral, right arm up, and then threading the right arm underneath the left, and then rotating through that middle thoracic twist. Nice, so you don't have to come back low. Stay relatively high. You're just going for a pretty easy twist here. And release. Square back to center. Take the seat down. Right hand to the floor. Left arm is up. Inhale, lengthen. Slightly rotate to the right, so you're lining up your sternum over your right leg. Keeping a lengthy spine on the exhale. Start to reach forward, taking the inside of the right foot with your left hand. Re-lengthen your spine. Make sure you check into your cervical spine and you're in a neutral position as you then on the exhale take it further forward. Inhale, release, back to center, and then twist to the right. Back to center again. Step the left foot down. Roll to the outside of the right foot, reach your right hand further back, and then lift, reach your left arm straight back behind you. So you're first concentrating on the left side stretch. Then left arm straight up to the sky, across the collarbone. Lift the hips up higher, and then the head drops back a little bit, and that brings you to a deeper back bend. Then raise your left arm back up, and as you drop the seat a little bit, you're still hovering. Thread the left arm underneath, so threading the needle as you take it into a middle thoracic twist. Release, take it back to center, let the seat come down, extend the legs forward. Let's take the feet a little bit wider this time. Alright, so you're probably a little bit off the mat. Take the arms up high, extend. Keep that lengthiness, right? So we're always working with lengthiness when you take the forward fold. Go as far as you can. Once you start to feel like you're rounding, right? I want you to stop and hover there. Then moving at the shoulders to reach your hands further down. Either grab the insides of the feet or maybe lower into the ankles. If you can't grab the feet, anywhere along the inside of the legs. Alright, really lengthen your spine some more. On the exhale, gently start to work it further forward. So again, trying to keep lengthiness through the spine. As soon as you start to round, you need to stop, realign your spine, which is reaching forward and downwards through the sternum. And the cervical spine, right, this the length behind the neck, you want to be in neutral position along the same line with the rest of the spine, right? So if you look forward, you're going to be extending too much, which is arching your upper spine. If you look down and toward the chin, then you're flexing too much, right? So just make sure that you are neutral the best you can. Right, so we're holding the poses for quite some time, just to give your muscles a little bit of time to really release and get that lengthiness. Alright, start to make your way back up. Take the feet a little bit wider. Side stretch. Left arm to the inside the left leg. Extend the right arm straight out. Then flip the palm to face up, reach up and overhead as you slide toward the left. Now, for those of you who have a little bit less range, as you slide to your left, you can feel that your right shoulder is beginning to collapse, right? That means as you side bend to the left, you are losing flexibility in the extension, right? So you start to descend like this. So the way to fix that is, once you get to a point where you start to rotate, take the right hand back behind you. Now with the half bind, the top of the hand pressing to your lower back, you can now leverage the weight to draw the front of the right shoulder back in space. So draw it back in space and realign to stack your shoulders. Once you have that, right, try to keep that as much as you can and see if you can slide to the left a little bit more. If that helps, then you keep going. If that again starts to let your right shoulder collapse, then it's too much, right? So come back to the point where you can side stretch a little bit so you can feel the inside and the back of the left leg, but at the same time, you stack your shoulders, right? And if you're not taking it, you just stack your shoulders and extending the right arm over. All right, start to break. Draw back up to center, second side. Press your right hand to inside the right leg for resistance. Extend the left arm out wide, and then flip the left palm, reach your left arm overhead. As you slide over to the right, keep using the right hand, pressing to the inside the right leg. Use that resistance. Keep your shoulders stacked the best you can, and go as far as you can. Now, again, once you start to collapse on the left side and start to face downwards, then you need to come back a little bit, stack your shoulders. Take the left hand back behind you. Actively draw the front of the left shoulder up and back with the resistance of the left hand pressing to your lower back. And then once you have that stacking again, see if you can slide a little bit more. Now, if you have more range, right, it could be your forearms touching down to the floor. So you have those options. Let's take a few more breaths here. All right, start to release. Take it back up. Let's come forward again. Let's start with the hands slightly behind you. So with your fingers, rotate them back outwardly. Hands slightly behind you, a little bit past your hips behind you. Broaden your shoulders by drawing your shoulders back and kissing shoulder blades. And then first lift your sternum. So there is a very distinct upper back bend here. So again, try not to look up too much, but instead, since you're relatively vertical here, look forward. Now keep the spine in line here, and as you push into your fingertips and tilt forward, keep that neutral spine the best you can. There is a slight back bend to the upper back, right? And mid back. Keep going as far as you can. Make sure you keep checking that the cervical spine, the back of the neck, continues to have that neutral position. Now, once you get to a certain point, right, you might need to now switch hand positions on front of you, right? If you tend to start rounding again, I want you to realign, come back to that neutral spine the best you can, whatever feels pretty right. Right? So unless you get to the point where you really know what that is, right? Unless you see yourself in front of the mirror, it might feel like you're in a neutral position and you're not. So you have to either have somebody tell you, right? Have somebody check on you, or if you're near a mirror, right? Take a look at the mirror to see what a neutral spine feels like so that you can always check in on that. All right, let's start to walk it back in. Keep the legs as they are, left hand behind you. Let's reach your right arm straight forward this time. So very actively reach your right hand forward. Maybe even the right shoulder draws forward a little bit. Keep the left hand behind you, pressing strong to the floor for support. Inhale here. Exhale. Twist to the right and hold it. As you take the next few breaths, keep progressively turning and deepening your twist to the left. Keep breathing though, right? One more breath. Inhale, take it back to center, switch sides, right hand behind you, left arm forward. Full extension, maybe even feeling like your left shoulder's drawn forward a little bit. Inhale again here to prepare. Exhale, keep extending as you start to twist. Keep resisting with that right hand. So in the next few breaths, every exhale carrying you a little bit deeper in that rotation. Inhale, take it back to center. Release, taking your hands to your inner thighs above the knees. As you pick up the knees will bend, take the soles of feet together. Let the feet go further forward and you're in diamond shape. Grabbing the insides of the feet or threading the arm underneath your legs, rounding of the spine to draw forward. So in this forward fold, you can round your spine as much as you want. And start to take it back up. Extend the legs forward. Now, hopefully you guys have some props. If you have a block, use a block. If you have a blanket, use your blanket and then a towel. If you even have a book, right? Roughly, what is this, like 4 inches high? Most of us don't have books like that thick, right? If you need to take multiple books, you can do that. Alright, so we're going to actually take a back bend here with the block or the blanket supporting, right? So you're going to take it to your mid-back, right? So it's just probably right below the shoulder blades is the tip of the block or your blanket, and then the bottom of the block goes slightly below the mid-back, right? So you're going to measure out, right? Make sure it's pretty symmetrical. And you're going to use your hands and slide the hands out. Feel for the corner of the block. So imagine where your mid-back would be and feel like the corner of the block is a little bit lower than that. Now, once you start to lower enough, the top of the surface of the block is supporting your mid-back. You want to take the hands to the back of the head and support the weight of the head, and then slowly descend and take the back of the head toward the floor. Once you have the head supporting, extend the arms out to either side and then just release the weight of your torso into the block. Now initially, you might feel like your shoulders are still kind of tense, right? Once you adjust to the back bend and the resistance to your mid-back, perhaps you can feel like the shoulders can release and relax a little bit. Now your feet are forward, and you can separate your feet and turn your toes out a little bit. And as you lay here, you might feel like your lower back is just releasing and letting go. All right, let's start to come out of the pose now. Consider how, for the last minute or so, you've allowed your body to just kind of relax and release, right? At this point, you can't just tell your body, okay, let me fully reactivate and lift again. So you have to assist yourself. Take the hands to the back of the head, and first, lift the head, the weight of the head with your hands, and start to look forward. Once you're looking forward, your upper back and your neck and shoulders are now a little bit more activated and beginning to take the weight of the body. Then take the hands to the floor. Press your hands down. As you press your hands down and draw inwards, allow the strength of the hands and the active lifting of the upper back to help you draw upwards. Right? You see how that could be quite demanding if you are in a very relaxed state, and then all of a sudden you round the spine to lift up, right? So that could, from that very relaxed state into a very active state to lift, could be quite difficult, right? So to make it a little bit safe, you want to take it one step at a time and assist yourself in carrying some of that weight. So the head being, the weight of the head being taken by the hands first to lift. Once you lift, and the neck is not overworking, and you're looking forward, right? So now your back of the neck is engaged, your shoulders and upper back is engaged. Then you can press your hands strongly to the floor. And as you draw the hands in, you're now activating your biceps, triceps, and shoulders to lift up the rest of the way. So that is key, right? For you to be safe in how you come in and out of your poses, especially lifting up, right? All right, so now we're going to go sideways. Roll to the left side, and then take the side ribs onto the block or onto your blankets. So if you're using a book or a block, it might be kind of a very hard surface, right? So be careful with this one. So support it with your right hand. Reach your left arm further out. So allow the left arm to continue to support you, and then readjust as you lower, right? So now you're putting weight onto your side ribs. You can start with the left hand supporting the head like this, and the right hand always supporting throughout. As you can sink into your ribs here. Now as you adjust to that, now maybe you're ready to go a little bit lower. Reach your left arm out, and then start to let the left side of the head rest onto the left arm. Now continue to support with the right hand and get adjusted to this side stretch, right? So you're arching your ribs so that the right side is getting a little bit more extension. Now, if this is shaky for you, right, and you need to separate your feet, you can move your right foot forward, left foot back, and that will give you a little bit more support. Now, as you sink into this, if you feel like you don't need your right hand anymore, you want to extend the right side as well, then you can reach overhead and extend. All right, take the right hand back down. You can keep your feet separated, I guess. Press into your right hand, lift the head, and support the head. Once you feel okay, I'm feeling okay here now, then you can let your left arm come down, press into your right hand, lift the rest of the way. All right? Switch sides. So this time you see the back of my body if you're looking. Okay? So, legs are together. Let the feet flex so that you have nice strong legs to support. Left hand on the floor for support in front of you. Right arm is beginning to reach out. Take the right forearm toward the floor. Okay? Then start and move your right elbow further out. Start with the right hand supporting. Left hand is still there. Now if you feel like you need to separate your feet a little bit, left foot forward, right foot back. That'll give you probably much better balance. Continue to support with the left hand. If you're ready to go further, reach your right arm out and slowly let the right side of the head rest on your right arm. And then we'll take a breath or two here and sink into that side stretch. Then, when you're ready, you can reach your left arm overhead and extend through your left side as well. All right. Walk your left hand back in. And start with lifting the head and supporting the right side of the head. Once you settle into that, release your right hand down, adjust your right arm back in, adjust your left arm back in, and then take the legs together, roll back up to center, readjust your seat, and then let's move your legs. And then let's take Dandasana. Hands alongside the hips. Press your palms down. Sit up tall. Broaden your shoulders. Gaze forward. Chin is neutral. Right, so you're letting this elongate your spine and side body so that you're actually kind of like releasing and lengthening here and quieting down the side ribs. And release. Cross your shins. Roll forward and make your way back to the down dog. Walking it out side to side. Alright, come back to stillness in your down dog. Inhale, raise your right leg up, three-legged dog. Stay here, flex your right foot, reach for your right heel very actively. And if you have a little bit more range in you, raise your right leg more vertically toward the sky. Then point the right toes, stack the hips one over the other, and bend your right knee. Stacking the hips, right knees reaching up, left heels reaching down, firmly press into your hands. Raise your right leg back up, square off the hips, and stepping your right foot forward, ground the back heel, warrior one. Extend your fingertips. Lunge forward a little more deeply. Lunge forward even more deeply. And then lunge forward even more. Stay here with the arms up. We're going to take a few more breaths. Or if you need the hands to your thighs, to support. Right? So you're leaning the hips quite deeply forward. So you're getting the inner left side stretch, you're going into your hip crease, your groin, and your right quads are quite activated. And start to come back up. Open it up, warrior two. Lengthen out the right leg, triangle pose. Tip the left hip back, reach your right hand further forward. If you're modifying, right hand to tap the shin. So if your hamstrings are tight or hips are tight, you want to take it a little higher. You can always slide down a little bit. And then finally, for those of you taking the full pose, it's the right hand to the floor, left arm is up. Left palm to face down and reach forward, extending. Left arm up and behind you, half bind. Stack the shoulders. Raise your left arm back up, and then left hand to the left side and down toward the floor. Frame your right foot with your hands. You can use your hands to blocks if you need. Inhale, lengthen here. Let's keep it lengthening and the upper back lifting, crown of the head forward. Right, so oftentimes we just round the back and go forward, right? Which is quite nice too, but I'm looking for extension today. That's what I'm feeling today with you. So let's lift the upper back, crown of the head forward, tail back, arms are extended, legs are extended. And then let's revolve it. Keep the right leg extended, left hand down, and rotate your right arm out and up for the twist. The right palm to face down and reach forward. Right arm up and behind you, half bind to twist deeper. Raise your right arm back up. Take the right hand back down to the floor, to the inside of the right foot. Bend your right knee. Right, so with your hands supporting, right knee is bent, so you're in a side angle or like a warrior position with your legs. Then walk your hands over to the left side. So now you're pointing your torso diagonally to your left. Then walk your hands further out, take the left forearm to the floor, reach your right arm up. Now, if you have a block and your forearm touching down is difficult, you can elevate the forearm to the block and extend. So those are good options. Otherwise, your left forearm down, reach your right arm out. So your torso and the right arm is in a diagonal. Walk your hands back in. Lift back up, side angle. Right hands inside the foot. Left arm up to the sky. And for those of you who are modifying, it's the right arm to top the right leg, left arm up. Left palm to face down and reach forward. Left arm up and behind you, half bind and twist. And stack. Raise your left arm back up, left hand to the floor. Now we are twisting in the side angle. So the right knee stays bent. Left hand to the floor, rotate your right arm up to twist. Right palm to face down and reach forward. Right arm up and behind you, twist deeper. Raise your right arm back up, right hand to the floor. Bend your left knee, lengthen out the right leg, and shift your weight back toward the left heel, coming to Skandasana. Now, if you're not able to keep the left heel down, and you're not able to go this far down, right? You can be a little bit higher and on your left tiptoes, but keep your hands supporting and go as low as you can, right? So this is a perfectly good option. Maybe even a little bit higher. If you're a little bit higher, you might be able to draw the heel down. So this is as far as you can go, then that's fine. Otherwise, you're looking to keep the left heel down, take the seat as low as you can, get into that extension of the back of the leg and the inside of the leg toward the groin, toward the inner hips. If you can free up your hands, hands together in prayer. Let's just stay here for another breath or two. And release your hands back down. Make your way back forward. Come up. Reverse warrior. And then hands to the floor. Right foot stepping back plank. Inhale one breath. Exhale. Chaturanga. Inhale up dog. Exhale down dog. Inhale, left heel up to sky, three-legged dog. Stay there, foot is flexed, heels reaching up and back. If you have more range, raise your left heel even higher to a more vertical line. Then point the left toes, open up the hips, bend the left knee, sideways scorpion. As you stack the hips, left knee is reaching up, right heel is reaching down. Re-extend the left leg up, square off the hips, step the left foot forward, back heel down, warrior one. Once you set up the warrior one, nice and strong, lunge a little bit deeper. Lunge even deeper. Lunge even deeper and hold. So you have the option of keeping the arms upright as you did. Or if you need the hands to the thighs to help support, take it there. You have another 2 breaths. Release. Come back up for warrior 2. Lengthen out the left leg. Triangle pose. Tip the right hip back. Reach the left hand forward. Left hand to tap the shin if you're modifying, right? So if your hamstrings are tight or hips are tight, take it a little higher. If you are able to come a little bit further down with the assist, right? Take it. Or if you have the left hand all the way down, take the full expression of your triangle. Right palm to face down and reach forward. Right arm up and behind you, half bind, stack. Raise your right arm up, off to the side, and toward the floor. And let's frame your left leg, lengthen your spine, and stay lengthy, right? So rather than rounding forward, I want you to press strongly into your hands to press down, onto your fingers to press down. Lift the upper back, crown of the head reaching forward, tailbones reaching back, legs are extended, arms are extended. Right, so we're holding these poses for a long time, so hopefully your muscles are really releasing and lengthening. All right, keep the left leg extended, keep the right hand down, revolve triangle. Reach your left arm out and up to twist. Left palm to face down and reach forward. Half bind, left arm up and behind you, twist a little bit deeper. Raise your left arm up, take the left hand to the inside of the left foot, bend your left knee. Then angle your torso over to the right at a diagonal. Walk your hands further out. Right forearm comes to the floor or to a block. Left arm extending out through a diagonal. So you're on your fingertips on the left side, left fingertips. Keep crawling the left fingertips out and traction into the floor for resistance, and that should give your left side a really nice extension. All right, begin to walk it back in. Side angle, left hand to the inside of the left foot, keep your left knee bent, and right arm up, side angle. Those of you modifying, it is your left arm to top left leg. Right palm to face down and reach forward to a diagonal. Half bind, right arm up and behind you. Keep stacking. Release your right arm back up, right hand to the floor for your twist. Right hand to the floor, keep your left knee bent. Raise your left arm up to twist. Palm to face down and reach forward. Left arm up and behind you for the half bind for the deeper twist. Release your left arm back up and to the floor. Skandasana. As you walk your hands back in space, bend your right knee and start to take a seat toward the right heel, left leg fully extended. So, in the full pose, your seat is very close toward the floor, to the heel, right knee is bent, left leg extended, hands together in prayer. Those of you who have a little bit less range, maybe you're quite a bit higher, right? If that is it, that's fine. Keep your hands supporting. If you're higher, you can probably keep the right heel toward the floor a little bit better. If you want to go lower instead, maybe shift to your tiptoes, right? But keep trying to draw the right heel toward the floor and ground that heel. If you cannot, then stay on the tiptoes. You can lean forward a little bit and then keep your hands supporting, right? Or, right, again, the alternative, seat a little higher, but the heel, right heel down. So all those are good options. One more breath. And take the hands back down. Start to come back forward and through the warrior two into reverse warrior. Hands to the floor. Left foot stepping back plank. Inhale, one breath. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Walk your feet forward toward your hands. Take the seat down. Seated spinal twist. Left leg extending forward, step the right foot over. This is your half variation. It's a little bit easier for you to do the twist. Right hand behind you, left arm up and twist. Now, those of you who have more mobility in your hips, and you can take the full pose, take the left heel in, step the right foot over. So this demands a lot more flexibility in the hips, right? So right hand behind you again, left arm up and twist. Take back to center on the inhale. Exhale, counter twist to the left. Back to center. Extend the legs forward again. So half variation, right leg extended, step the left foot over. Right? So this is for those of you who have tighter hips. If you're taking the full variation, right heel comes in, left leg over, ground the seat evenly. Then everyone, left arm back behind you, right arm is up, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rotate to the left. Hook the right arm to top the left leg and twist. Now for those of you where taking the elbow to top of the leg forces you to round. Because you don't have that extension, right? That's okay. Then modify the right arm so you're less tight in the pose, right? Wrap the arm around the leg. See if you can sit up taller and rotate from there. If even this is difficult, then take a hand. That will give you lots of space to be able to be freely sitting tall and twisting. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to the right. Back to center again. Extend the legs forward. Arms out to either side as you slide the hands out. Alright, so coming to your lower back. So since we just did that deep twist, let's take a different version. Bend your knees, step the feet to the floor. Let the feet go wide about mat's width distance. So inside of your mat, take mat's width distance with your knees, and then just drop the knees over to the right side. So your knees will be separated, that is fine. You can stay here and feel for that gentle stretch through the inner left, through the left side, through the outer left hip and outer left leg, through the knee. Now, if this is good, stay here. If you want more intensity, pick up the right foot. Take the right ankle, right heel to the outer left ankle, outer left knee, and then press down. Right, so it's the outer right ankle to your outer left knee, and press down. That should give you a nice, deep stretch through your left side. All right, start to release. Step the left foot back down, right foot back down to the floor. Take the knees back to center. So make sure your feet are separated about mat's width. All right, and then drop your knees over to the left side. So you should already start to feel the stretch to the right side body, right hip, right thigh, right knee. If you're looking for more intensity, pick up the left foot and press your outer left foot to the outer right knee. And as you press down, you're going to get more intensity into the stretch on the outer right side, particularly into the hips. Release your left foot back to the floor. Take the knees back to center, and then hug both knees in, stretching the lower back. Then step the feet to the floor. Slide the legs forward, let the feet separate, toes turned out. Arms alongside the body, palms face up, eyes closed. Release. Shavasana. Begin to take the breath back in. Moving the fingers and toes. Reach the arms overhead, stretching opposite directions. And then rolling over to the right side and come up to a comfortable cross-leg position. Even seat, lengthy spine, shoulders broad, breath deep, and let the neck be free. Inhale from. Hands together in prayer, bowing forward, sealing the practice. Come up. Namaste, everybody. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. I appreciate your time. Please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the streaming schedule, as well as my payment information for Venmo and for PayPal. Venmo is my preferred way of payment, and my handle for Venmo is Simha Yoga Lab. And the 4-digit ID code, if you're prompted for it, is 8096. Classes are $10, and if you're having a difficult time right now, $5 is fine. Please do the best you can. So I am streaming on Instagram and on Facebook, and those recordings are posted as postings on those two platforms. And then the videos are uploaded onto my YouTube channel as Simha Yoga Lab. So if you're not streaming with me, it is actually a better bet to go with YouTube because the audio and video is much better on that platform. And you can also bring up the video onto your smart TV. So if you're not streaming, I recommend using that. All right, thank you guys for your time again. Be well, take care. I will see you soon, and please spread the word.